Dragapult is a Pokemon released in Gen 8 that started seeing usage in competitive singles immediately, and maintained high usage and a top tier spot in the metagame throughout the entire generation. Now Gen 9 is here and this Pokemon is still on top. Dragapult is the number 5 most used Pokemon in Gen 9 at the moment. I'm pretty sure Dragapult will remain excellent with the addition of returning Pokemon and future DLC as well. Let's take a look at what makes Dragapult so great in competitive singles. But first, the Pokemon Spidops has something important to say.
Hello everyone, it's me, powerful bug-type Pokemon Spidops. The only thing I care about on this planet is whether or not you are subscribed to JimCool on YouTube. 65% of you watching right now are really getting on my nerves. If you don't like this video and subscribe to JimCool, I will use my powerful entry hazard move Sticky Web against you. Yes, I'm serious.
Thank you Spidops for sharing your thoughts. The first thing that stands out about Dragapult is its enormous speed stat. This is the fastest Pokemon in OU by a significant margin, and the second fastest Pokemon in Gen 9 right now behind Electrode. Pokemon that are this fast are usually quite weak or have limited options, but not Dragapult. This Pokemon has an amazing Dragon Ghost type combination. Although its defensive stats are a bit below average, they're solid enough alongside this type combination for Dragapult to actually function pretty well defensively for such a fast, offensively oriented Pokemon. Usually a Pokemon this speedy is very frail, but Dragapult is actually pretty good at switching straight into common hits due to its valuable resistances and immunities. This type combination is also great offensively. Dragon and Ghost are very good stab types that hit many targets neutrally. Dragapult also has a very useful offensive ability, Infiltrator, which lets it ignore enemy substitutes and also ignore the effects of defensive screens like Reflect and Light Screen. Despite this Pokemon's high attack stat, the most popular set on Dragapult is a special attacking set due to its vast special move pool and how effectively it can take advantage of a choice specs. In Gen 8, the move Pursuit was completely removed from the game. This was a 40 power physical dark type attack that would double in power if the enemy switched out, and it had the unique effect of being able to hit them while they were switching out, essentially trapping them. This would allow a Pokemon like Tyranitar to reliably eliminate ghost types with a powerful super effective Pursuit. And this served to keep ghost types in check a little bit. Without Pursuit in the game, ghost types became significantly better. While Ghost was a great neutral offensive type, even in Gen 6 and 7, the fear of inviting in a Pursuit user who resisted Ghost and was able to then eliminate you kept Ghost moves from being too spammable. But in Gen 8 and 9, Ghost type has now become probably the most spammable offensive type in the entire game. Dragapult arrived just in time to thrive in this Pursuit-free world. Outrunning everything and firing off a choice spec Shadow Ball is something you really can't go wrong with. U-turn is always appreciated on a fast choice locked Pokemon, allowing you to pivot and respond to the few things that can come in safely against Ghost type. The massive 140 base power of Stab Draco Meteor helps to offset Dragapult's lower than average special attack. This huge nuke will help you threaten many more possible switch-ins with an impressive damage output, and Dragapult has a wealth of coverage and utility options to fill that last slot. Flamethrower or Fire Blast are common choices to hit steals that resist Dragon. Choice Specs is a perfect fit on Dragapult, but plenty of other sets are great as well. Another popular set in Gen 9 is an offensive pivot set that wields heavy-duty boots. This set uses the Will-O-Wisp Hex combo. Hex will deal double damage against statused targets, so the more status you spread, the more threatening this set becomes. These sets are often mixed attackers, running Dragon Darts for reliable stab that takes advantage of that great base attack. U-turn is obviously a given on these sets for pivoting and maintaining momentum. Although special attacking sets are more common due to better options, physical attacking sets are good as well. Although you have limited options for physical moves, that high base attack stat as well as your great stab types make physical sets perfectly viable. Dragapult actually gets access to Dragon Dance. In a single turn of boosting, you'll outrun the entire metagame with ease, and probably catch the enemy off guard if they were expecting a special attacking set. The surprise value of Dragon Dance can go a long way and act as a great win condition. Dragon Darts is a given on these sets, And now that terastallization exists, Terrablast Ghost can be used to circumvent Dragapult's lack of reliable Ghost Stab. While this requires the commitment of your 1 per game Terastallize, spending this resource on Dragapult and gaining that enhanced stab damage is very valuable. Terrablast Ghost after a Dragon Dance is extremely powerful. If you prefer to not be forced into Terastallizing just to have access to a Ghost type attack, Shadow Force is a usable option too, despite being telegraphed. The flexibility of not needing to Terra is nice, and even though it's telegraphed, it's still difficult to switch into, and the fact that it bypasses Protect and your ability bypasses Substitute, there's limited options to actually dodge the move apart from switching to a resist. Sucker Punch is commonly used on physical Dragapult sets for some priority. It's the best option you've got to fill out the moveset usually, and it's quite useful to play around Shadow Sneak and other priority options. Choice Band is another very good option on Dragapult and is in my opinion its most underrated set. You can get great surprise value from this set with your unexpected, massive and immediate physical damage output. U-Turn will not only help you keep momentum up, but will also hit a lot harder thanks to your attack investment. Terra Dragon plus Dragon Darts can wall break very nicely, and a Choice Band boosted Shadow Force can be tough to switch into as well. Sometimes I see people say that Dragapult should have been given a more reliable physical Ghost Stab option, as if they made a mistake when designing this Pokemon and forgot to give it one. I actually think that sometimes limiting a Pokemon's options can make them more interesting and more balanced. If Dragapult did have a good Ghost type physical attack, physical sets would be far more popular on it and we'd see less variety in sets on the Pokemon. The fact that this Pokemon's most popular set is a special attacking set, despite it having a high attack stat, is cool. I'm not sure if they intentionally thought about this when designing it. Game Freak's decision making can be a bit random. But I think that making Shadow Force the only Ghost Stab option on this Pokemon with high attack and high speed was actually smart design. This Pokemon has such a wide variety of different options, but ironically it's lacking one of the most obvious ones, a stab move for its highest offensive stat. I think this limitation makes the Pokemon more interesting. Overall, I like Dragapult. I enjoy its set variety and wide move pool. It's used a lot because it's very reliable and flexible, but it doesn't feel too overwhelming or difficult to answer either. What do you think of Dragapult? Do you find it frustrating to play against? Are you sick of seeing it on so many teams? What would you like me to talk about next? Let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching. Thank you to the patrons. Become a patron to appear on this fun end screen alongside your favorite Pokemon, as well as various other rewards such as video requests.
The money got different, cause of what I'm spending. The money got different,
oh, it's
cause of what
Megaphone!
I'm spending.
Oh,
The money
KO
got
by one
different,
hit! It
cause
scattered
of what I'm
spikes!
spending. The money got different.